Hello and welcome to episode 23 of me coding with LLMs. Today I'm going to keep working on the critical thinking web app and specifically the backend Python tool that I'm using to generate questions with the OpenAI API. So I did a tiny bit of research offline. I was watching a YouTube video about a new responses API that OpenAI released some months ago, or I'm actually not sure. Let's have a look. I'm actually not exactly sure when it was out. This article was released 11th of March 2025. So I wanted to, use Pydantic to get parsed content here, and then I came over a video explaining that this is now part of the responses API, and before that I had used like the client.beta.chat completions, the completions API to do this. So now I have switched to client.responses.parse. And I have simplified a little bit. So instead of having a messages array here with the instructions, I'm now using the instructions parameter and the input parameter. So the instructions here will be the system prompt, and then input will be the user prompt. And then I can specify this text format and say I want a questions type back. So the questions is just a list of question objects that we have defined here, and it is a Pydantic model. So today I'm just gonna, it's been a little while since I did this, so I just want to get back into the code and do some cleaning up and then continuing with the project. So let's just review the changes here. Of course, I added the Pydantic requirement, and I just removed this version requirement on OpenAI. Not sure if it matters in this case, but actually let's check what the latest version is of OpenAI here. 1.6.6.3 it seems. Yeah. What is the best way of checking that? Let's figure out. Sure. One 66.3. Pip upgrade. Yeah, can I do that? Or is it update? Or just install? I should remember this, but I didn't. Pip install -- upgrade. Yeah, it seems like we had latest. Okay. So we'll quickly test the changes here. So look at this. So this code has been simplified a lot. Client's responses parse, system prompt, user prompt. So I have this launch.json, which will launch the CLI tool with some default commands here. So I will just run this one. It should hit the breakpoint, so we can have a look. So it's firing off the API call, and we're waiting for the response. There we go. And the content is now response. Is it actually a questions content? So if I do this, what is this? How can I do check the type? Class, not questions. Well, I did that. Type, content, class, main. questions. Should probably be something like items. Fair enough. Okay, I'm not gonna dwell too much on this. So if we look here, the last prompt we completed was prompt 3. So let's have a look at the prompt plan. Prompt 4. Generate questions for a single age group. That is sort of what I'm testing now, so maybe I have done that. Parses, choose one, validates. Yeah, so this is the one we have done. So then let's go to prompt 5, full question generation across age groups. So this is sort of not up to date. Create a function to generate all questions. Iterates through all the age groups. Calls generate questions. Combines the result into a complete collection. Handles any age group specific adjustments to prompts if needed. Add progress tracking that shows which age group is currently being processed, how many questions have been generated so far, estimated time remaining. Implement validation to ensure that all questions have their correct category field. Add an option to generate questions for specific age groups only. Okay. Let's do it. And I'm going to go edit mode. And I'm going to try Gemini 2.5 Pro. And add open editors to context. Put in the prompt. And should I do agent mode? I'm tempted to give it a try. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. Oh no. Okay, should we do GPT 4.1 then? No, Claude 3.7 agent mode. Let's give it a go. I just want to try. I love exploring and just testing new stuff. And I have no idea how long this is gonna run. So I think I'm gonna just pause the video and then get back here when it's done working. All right, so we are back. And that took maybe a little bit over 5 minutes. So let's review the changes. So I've enhanced the question generator file to support generating questions for all age group. Here's what I've added. Created an all questions class to store and manage questions from multiple age groups with helpful methods to add questions from different age groups, count the total questions, filter questions by age group, convert to a dictionary for JSON serialization. Okay. Good. Implemented the generate all questions function that iterates through all the age groups. And calls generate questions for each group, combines the results, provides detailed progress tracking. Nice. Error handling, CLI option to support new functionality. Add all age groups, flag. Update the main function to handle both single and multi-age group generation. The implementation now gracefully handles generating questions for either a single age group or all groups. To generate questions for all groups, let's give this a try then. Well, let's review the changes first. Imported date type. Okay, fine. All questions class, get count, add question, get questions by encrypt to dict. Okay. Generate all questions, takes in the OpenAI client. Okay. Using all age groups if nomen is specified. With some validation. Yeah. And then some statistics and a timer. And enumerating all the age groups. Questions per second. So remaining questions. Okay, a lot of stuff. And then we're just calling our previous function. adding the result to the all questions object, counting the questions, and in the end we are adding the category. Okay, seems okay. And a new CLI parameter. So if we call that one, it will of course fire up this, or else it will just do our previous thing. And what has it done here? Commented out the logging. That was already coming out, so it's just deleting it, it seems. Okay. Seems okay. Let's try it. So we'll keep verbose, and instead of -a, we're gonna do -- all age groups. Still n is 5. So the category is critical thinking. The description is questions to... What is the D again? The D flag. Description of what the category means. Right. Critical thinking. Question to teach kids evaluating information and make their own opinion. Let's go. It'll be exciting to see the progress bar. Progressing, age group 1 out of 5. Oops. Gotta remove some breakpoints here. Could probably, not probably, I could run these queries in parallel, which is a pattern which I can research while we are waiting here. Something like this. Can we find a good description? I have seen something nice before, but I can't see it right now. I think it has a name. Which I cannot. Parallel query. What is it called? Doesn't really matter. I could just do all these in parallel. and get each response individually. Okay, so it's working and it actually complete. Awesome. Generally 20 questions so far, 5 out of 5. So you look into here. Let's have a look at the so we have all questions. All questions. Dot thems, perhaps. Dot So I just wanted to check one of the adult questions. Well, this is 17 to 20. How many questions did we generate? This is pretty bad, but I'm tired and I don't really care. So we generated 25 questions. So I'll just do this in the stupid way and ask for like the 24th question or something. How can we be more open to reevaluate our own meanings or our own opinions? I mean, can you remember a time when you changed opinion about something important? What caused this change? How can we encourage others to be open to new ideas? Okay, interesting. I think I am this question is very weird. Or maybe it isn't. What do you think this is for the 5 to 8-year-olds? What do you think is the reason that there are so many species of animals? Helps kids think about why the nature is so, what's this word, broad, and how different environments is changing or affecting the animals. Well, I guess it's like practicing reflection and thinking. So this is the first pass anyway. Okay, let's do this. Questions were successfully generated. In a future implementation, they will be saved to a file. Awesome. And then to database. So this was a success. I reviewed the code and I couldn't see any huge issues with it. So I think I am happy to commit this. It was prompt 5. Great. We have a look at prompt 6 and see if we should do that one as well. Output formatting and file saving. So, yep. Of course, we are not going to store it in files eventually. I'm going to put it in Supabase or something else. I'm not 100% decided yet, but it would be nice to store as JSON for now. Agentic mode worked so well that I will actually try it again, to be honest. So quick review, save to file, add option for setting output directory, pretty printing JSON, overwriting existing files versus creating new ones, validate, clear feedback. Yeah, this should be fine. Let's go for it. So in the previous run, when I paused the video, it was it took a little bit over 5 minutes, I'm guessing. So I can actually start a timer, can't I? Klokke. Tidtak og stoppeklokke. And we can have a look. It was like working in chunks, going like to 20, 40%, and then having a long break, and suddenly up to 76%, and then it was stuck at 100% for probably a minute or two. So let's see how this goes now. I'll pause the video again, and then we can see what the timer is at when it's done. All right, so we are back. So as you can see, it took almost 7 minutes and it feels extremely slow. It is spending a lot of the time in the applying edits. Well, what happened now? Still generating edits. I'm not sure why right now. I'm not sure if it's worth it to use the agent mode, because it just feels like a slower version of the edit mode. I'm talking about this down here. So the agent's probably doing stuff in iterations, but it's hard to say when there is no output. Maybe I could get some output somewhere. Problems are paused because... Okay, strange. Yeah, not sure why. Now it's applying edits again. So it's spending a lot of time to do stuff, and I don't know what it's actually doing behind the scenes. But maybe I'll get the explanation here, update, blah, 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 and then implement file saving functionality, search for files matching, looking at code structure. I'll implement the file saving functionality for question generator. And then implement again. So it's doing stuff very incrementally, but yeah, I'm not sure. It takes a little bit while for this description to come as well. So, but this is why I'm testing it. It's probably something I'm missing and something I'm doing wrong. But it's useful information to have anyway. So if it can complete now, but for this functionality, what I am doing now, I could have probably coded it a lot faster myself, or using the edit mode or something else, just use the chat mode. So at the moment, at least for these kinds of tasks, it doesn't feel worth it at the moment to use the agent mode. It, funnily enough, it worked better in the first, in prompt number 5. It worked quite okay. And after 5 minutes, it was just done. And with a pretty okay implementation. Now it's been 10 minutes almost and still not done. With, not sure what the complexity is here. Should be relatively straightforward functionality. Let's see if it can complete or if it's going to do another pass here. I think I kind of treated it as the edit mode, but this is actually the agent mode, like doing multiple passes for each functionality here. It's just a little bit too slow for this. So let's see, now it's still working, and then it will update the main function to actually use the new file saving. So we should get closer to the towards the end now. My feeling is that the edit mode could have done this in more or less one pass. I'm not sure. Gonna try the edit mode next with the Gemini 2.5 Pro model. Okay, I'll pause the video again until we are done generating. Okay, we are back and we are done. So that took probably 20 minutes or so, which was way too long for these simple tasks, in my opinion. So I would definitely not use agent mode for this. But it's a good learning experience. So let's review the final changes. It went on for many times here and iterating. I'm not sure why I did so many iterations here and so relatively few iterations last time, but save questions to file. Yes. And some new CLI options. Encoding and pretty printed and minified JSON. Handling file conflicts. Looks solid, so let's review the changes here. Import pathlib. Save questions to file. Okay, so union of questions and all questions. No, either questions or all questions. Yeah, of course, yeah. And then a category of type string is, didn't we make a category? Don't remember. Let's check that. Did I make category? No. Yeah, question category. Should have been of type question category, but oh well. I guess I need to make some changes because I just pass in the category as a string now, so yeah. I can, that's fine. Pretty print with true as default, overwrite as false. Great. And returns a path to the saved file. And raises a usage error if anything goes wrong. So it will use the directory here. Might be a little bit bad, but I'm not going to publish this tool. If I were to publish it, I would probably make changes here. And the date and the base file name based on the category and current date. We should probably clean the category somehow. And while path exists and not overwrite, we will make a file path increment the counter. Okay. It tries 100 times, so if we have 100 files, it will just stop, which is fine. And then we'll dump the questions if it is questions, or else to dict. Do some pretty printing, open the file, write the file. And if the file already exists, it will print out something. Validate output directory. So the path exists, but it is not a directory. So if you put in a file name, that should throw an error. New parameters with default value, no default value. Well, actually, yeah, default is current directory, fine. Actually, I want output. Is it just like this? And we can choose to pretty print, but default, overwrite, and a no save. If we don't want to save and just test something, fine. And in the main function, we have these new parameters and some processing here. And if not to no save, we will save questions to file. Great. And what is this? If we are generating for all age groups, it will do this, or else it will just save one category. This could be optimized, I guess. Absolutely. So not super optimized here, I guess, but we will test it. Yeah, let's just keep making 5. Save this and run it. Let's see if it will be able to write this to the output directory, or if it will crash. This is nice. Estimated time remaining. Not sure. Didn't check how accurate it is. It's nice to check the progress, especially when I'm going to create many more questions than 5 per category and multiple categories and so on. Error saving. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Let's get to work. It did create the output directory though, so that's nice. Okay, I'm definitely going to edit mode now. Keep and continue. And then add context. So that will be the question generator. Let's add question samples as well. Okay, and then I will just paste in this. Now I'm in edit mode and I'm going to use Gemini 2.5 Pro because I just want to test it. Paste in this and see what happens. Okay, I can help with that. Yep. Sounds like it's pretty much spot on. And applying edits. How fast will that be? Hopefully pretty fast. Yeah, not super fast. I want to understand what is taking time here. If this is normal behavior or if something is wrong. Because at times before I have felt like it has been very fast. Almost there. Okay, 30 changes. Okay, so, oh my god. This is horrible. It is reverting my changes. This is horrible. This is instant reject, instant undo. not even gonna look at all of this. So so what did I do wrong here? Do I need to give it more context somehow? Let's try GPT 4.1. Just give it this one. This is research. Now I can check out the speed as well. See if it is applying edits any faster or anything. Of course, I had a different prompt, so I should probably have used the exact same prompt. Maybe it got confused by the stuff above the error message, perhaps. So I'm not gonna completely base all my decisions based on this stupid testing here, but let's see. All right, so slightly faster generation there. Okay. So the model dump mode JSON is one difference. And here we are doing some type checking and then extracting the values, which should fix the bug that we had. Hopefully. Yeah, so almost all the changes related to that, and putting this in this model dump. So that is Pydantic, isn't it? Pydantic stuff. Yeah. Yes. Okay, let's save and run again. See what happens now. This is not the fastest test I could have done. I realized that. But I'm just taking things slow. It's fine. Should have written unit tests. Okay, so it's the last one. Let's see now. And it seems to be successful. Critical thinking. But we're getting some pedantic warnings. Expected enum but got string with value blah blah blah. Serialized value not be as expected. All right, so that we have to look into next time. Let's have a look at I'll actually put this in my to-do. Didn't I create a to-do list here? Yeah. To-do. Fix logging and line numbers. This we have done. Max tokens we haven't looked at. Let's have a look at the output before I end this video. Here we go. We have a nice, pretty printed JSON file with lots of items, lots of questions, categories, tags. This is nice. Okay, some interesting questions here. So we are getting somewhere. So I will keep all of these changes. And in the next time, we're also going to do some refactoring. Fix this. Clean. All right, and then this was prompt number. Oh, what happened here? I'm looking at the wrong document, of course. This was prompt number 6. I'll check in the notes as well, and maybe just check in this document. All right, thank you for following me in this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.